to see them. They were very, very happy actually with the Japan result. They thought they deserved it. They said they'd watched the game. Big appeal. And Harahinze was interested. What's this one missing, Paresh?
Yeah, it looked very close in the first instant, but you have to see the replay. Probably slightly going down.
Did he get it to turn enough is the question. Or was it just angling on with the arms? Certainly an appeal of note, an appeal of interest. As again he uses his feet. Going to create half a chance. Oh, spectacular effort. But it's another one that, well, it's hard to call it a chance or harsh to call it a chance. And the flying long off fielder or mid off fielder who's run around, I don't think gets anything on it in the end, and Bertel lives to fight another day.
Coming down the track, not into the pitch of the ball, hit it.
Back live with you now. We'll come back to that replay as Bertel can't beat the infield, as it will round out the latest over. It was an awfully difficult chance, Paresh, wasn't it? Again, made good ground. Don't think he got a hand on it in the end. Well, they're going to have to take those sort of quarter chances.
Yeah, he was flying like a Superman there, but couldn't get to the ball.
Bit of John T. Rhodes, mid-air. Would have been a sensational catch. Very, very difficult. Bertel was probably looking to go inside out over extra cover, but good piece of bowling from Harahinze, just dragged his length back a touch. Sagaya Slater will continue for his second. Nepal are in a good position in this power play. I'll be pleased with the start that the two openers have given them. Another elegant stroke. He really is probably, of all of Nepal's batters, the most technically correct Asif Sheikh. Is that a fair analogy from someone who batted at the top like you, Paresh?
Yes, he is. He is one of the most elegant, stylish, classical players who can score runs in a T20 international above the strike rate of 130.
He's actually someone, I know Nepal don't play a huge amount of multi-day cricket. They did inaugurate the J Trophy there last year, I think it was. Or it might have been this year, my years are drifting into each other, to play some 2-day and then a 3-day final in that competition domestically. But he's someone you would love to see get an opportunity one day at Test cricket, Asif Sheikh. He seems to have all the assets from a technical perspective.
Yes, he has that aspect. Everything, the way he comes on to the front foot, the way he goes back to the back foot.
That's the one shot that gets him in a bit of trouble, just as we're waxing lyrical about how elegant he is. He probably doesn't need to play that. If he plays a back foot punch there, he would have executed it. Big swing and a miss.
This kind of a shot that he played against Kuwait brought the downfall. Was trapped LBW, trying to play across the line. He doesn't have to do that. Just back your basics. Just do your basics right. Clipped off his hips just for a single.
Yeah, it's funny, for most associate sides, particularly the 8 premier associate sides that are in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2, they're basically splitting their focus pretty much 50-50, aren't they, on ODI cricket and T20I cricket. And as a consequence, you don't really want to be out of one of the formats. Short and wide, misses out, bit of bounce from Sagaya Slater. So this, if Nepal played all 3 formats, if there's a one day where they played Test cricket, this might be the weakest of Asif Sheikh's 3 formats, but he's still very effective in T20 cricket, particularly when he has Bertel kind of going a bit more hammer and tongs at it alongside him.
That is what they complement each other for. Bertel comes in, attacks the ball. He has that aggression in the T20 format.
Oh, this goes straight up. It should be the first wicket. Fine leg comes around and holds on, and Japan celebrate. Sagaya Slater's really deserved that. And look at this, all 11 Japanese fielders coming in, sprinting in together. They're pumped up, loving every second. The men in pink do have one of Nepal's first two openers as Bertel looked for the hook shot. I think got surprised by that bit of extra bounce, and a half a yard of pace on offer two from Slater, and the opening stand is broken.
Yeah, it was a short ball, tried to pull the ball, hurried onto him, got the top edge, and a very smart, neat catch by the fielder at short fine, tumbling to his back. That was the captain, Kendall Fleming.
Will have been nervous underneath it, knew the importance of it. Two very, very difficult chances, both off Bertel going down. So he'll have to walk back for 21, made it exactly a run a ball. It will bring the captain to the crease row at Powdle. Good time to take a wicket just before that crucial sixth over that batting sides so often attack. And you can't help but argue Japan have deserved that.
Yes, they have, because of good bowling. Even you can see the last over that Slater bowled. He was bowled 2 overs just for 6 runs and taken a wicket. The last over just 3 runs and a wicket.
If you're wondering why Sagaya Slater likes that length, he plays his club cricket in Western Australia, in Perth, at the Melville Cricket Club. He's another one, I think there's 5 or 6 playing first grade cricket in Australia from this Japanese side. Anyone in first grade, when I went down and played my career there in Melbourne, I was generally in the seconds and the thirds. The standard and depth of Australian club cricket is phenomenal, particularly in the grade structures in Melbourne and in Sydney and in Perth and in Brisbane. Adelaide too. But you're playing first grade cricket, you're at a good standard. So he's come in and hit that hard length, those bouncy pitches out in Western Australia, and he's got the good reward. As we'll see a change in bowling. The third of the 3 seamers comes into the attack. There's a big swing and a miss from Asif Sheikh, just losing his shape. Out and out all-rounder, isn't he, Rahman? And another one who's playing his club cricket down in Australia.
This was a very good length bowled by Rahman. The ball shaping away from Asif Sheikh. He tried to hit that over the bowler's head, but was completely beaten by the swing of the ball. Now if Japan can get a couple of wickets, quick wickets, Nepal will come under pressure.
Worked around the corner, get home comfortably for the single, pedal very quick. Yeah, he was playing for the ACT Comets side. I think they're known as the Comets still, or it certainly used to be the Australian Capital Territory side in that North End T20 that not just Nepal went down to play in, but also Pakistan A, the Shaheens, Bangladesh A. So aside from America playing in that too, really good competition. And then Melbourne Renegades Academy, there's an Adelaide Strikers side there, Northern Territory Strike 2. And he was generally in the wickets and in the runs in that. I think that's something Nepal will be invited back to, and even though they lost some games down there, it showed that, I suppose, good exposure to different conditions will be good for the team going forward.
Yeah, that was a very good experience for Nepal to go there for the top end T20 tournament, playing against Australian team, playing against the Shaheens, playing against Bangladesh as well, the A teams. A good exposure for the kid, for the boys.
Very good standard of cricket from what I saw as well. Played across a multiple number of venues up in the top end. As Pedal will get off the strike. That wicket will probably quell any immediate hunts for net run rate boosts, as Nepal will just get the focus on to winning this game now again.
That should be their motto, just to win the game first. That comes in the primary objective. The secondary objective must have been the net run rate. But if you don't go for the win, if you don't win, the net run rate will not count.
Yeah, you're spot on. Net run rate's almost kind of a bonus after. Sheikh goes down the ground, heaves it into the leg side, goes a long, long way, goes all the way. 2 fielders were interested in it for its entire airspan out towards the leg side boundary. How's he got this for 6?
We were talking about the elegance of Asif Sheikh. He comes down the track. It was a slow ball, an off cutter. He just goes with the shot, pulls it down to mid wicket for a 6.
Yeah, he almost had to check his stroke, because he was probably done a little bit by a clever piece of bowling. Rahman saw Sheikh coming, changed his pace, but well, it's a modern game. You almost get the mini win as the bowler. You still go for 6. And Sheikh looks to finish the power play strongly, but can't get it where he wants it, which was over extra cover. Nepal will still be the happier of the two sides at the end of the power play in the second innings. They've accumulated 45 for 1.
Yes, let's look at the power play highlights. Kushal Bhurtel started off very wary. A couple of good shots down the ground. That was a better of the 3 that he played, going back to the back foot and cutting that down to point. This was the wicket of Kushal Bhurtel. The ball hurried onto him, got a top edge, and neat catch by the captain Fleming. This one's an amazing shot by Asif Sheikh coming down the track, helping it over mid wicket for a 6. After the power play, Nepal 45 for 1.
See Ravichandran come into the attack straight out of the power play. Kendall Fleming will have his... What's a drag down, a rare freebie. Bowling's been good, but that's not the way you want to start a spell. It could have been hit anywhere, and Sheikh just picks his spot out towards the gorgeous mountains, and it goes a long, long way. Real drag down and just smashed for 6.
Yeah, that was a long hop by Ravichandran. Helped it away by Asif Sheikh for a massive 6.
There has just been a few signs. A couple of batters in the first innings really started with nerves, and now the first bowler in the second innings starting with the... Well, it was just a poor delivery, wasn't it? Any batter would be licking his lips at that. About 65, 68 metres that square boundary out in that direction, and well, he's cleared it by 15 metres, and they're off looking for the ball right now. A whole load of people out towards that side trying to find the Kookaburra. I think they're going to have to go oh, they have found it. It's got into Shiju Sam, but because there's a little bit of a construction area over that far side still, we're just inspecting the ball to see if it's fit to continue play. And pressure in a big way now back on to Ravichandran in Japan after just one ball. The 50's up.
Yes, with that 6, Nepal moves to 51. The current rate is 8.27, the required rate under 6 now.
Oh, it's another long hop, and it's going to be 6 more. 2 really poor deliveries. Credit to Asif Sheikh, yes, but you just cannot bowl there. And I don't think you can park your car there either, you'll get in trouble. Very nearly smashes into that one. Nepal's fans loving every second.
This was another long hop, equally well dealt by Asif Sheikh. This was much bigger than the last one. Almost hitting the car there. Back-to-back 6s for Asif Sheikh.
He might be lucky that Sheikh didn't hit it another 2 or 3 metres. I think that was smashing into the car then. He does have 48 wickets to his name, with a little bit of all sorts. You'll see him bowl some leg breaks, some off breaks, but 2 really poor deliveries. Sheikh just said, well, thank you for the presents. Happy to heave them away. And again the ball needs further inspection because it clattered off the surroundings. Better, much better from Ravichandran. Finally finds his length. Problem is only 130 on the board. You can't even afford a couple of bad balls.
And that was a bit slower through the air as well. Another good delivery by him. 2 long hops and then 2 dot balls. I think he's getting the groove of the wicket now, getting the ball to release it well.
Yeah, they are leg breaks, but they're kind of straight breaks, and that one's cut away for 4 more. Flat through the air. Asif Sheikh really taking a liking to Ravichandran, who's being dispatched around Al Emirat.
This was not a bad ball. The shot was extremely good. He gave himself room and played it into the bat almost from the keeper's gloves. A very good shot. Played it very late to get the gap between short third and backward point.
And Sheikh is just happy to keep the strike. He's completely unflusteredly accumulated 17 runs from that over. with the utmost of ease. 7 have been bowled. Nepal in cruise control, approaching the halfway marker of this chase. They're 62 for 1. There's a runworm, and you can just see the difference between the two sides. Paresh, it's despite Japan's really impressive position and the acceleration that they provided through this stage, Nepal are cruising by them right now. Required run rate less than a run a ball, and difficult position. And you just wonder for Kendall Kadawaki Fleming as to when his sights might just turn to a bit of damage limitation. Does the dream of pulling off that shock upset, which would be 2 massive upsets in 2 days for Japan's cricketers, does that kind of go into the rearview mirror, and does he start to think, hold on, how can I bowl as economically as possible to drag out this second innings to make sure we don't take such a thumping that if we get 3 wins, our net run rate's going to be in a terrible position. Sagaya Slater's brought back in. Well, that's not going to help. Big leg side wide. Change of ends for him, strangely. He bowled so well from the media centre end. Have had a couple of messages asking to explain the format again, Paresh. I think if you forget about the group stages, because by the end of tonight we'll know the 6 teams. What we can then do is publish a points table with each side having played 1 match, and that's the result that you will hold on to with the side that you qualified with. So the winner of this match will have 2 points at the end of tonight. UAE already have 2 points from Group A, and then it could be Oman, it could be Samoa, or it could be Papua New Guinea, depending upon the permutations in Group C. And then from there, all that happens is you play all the other 4 sides you haven't played yet, and it's the top 3 that go to the World Cup. There's no semi-final, there's no final. It's that simple.
Yes, it is. From Group A, UAE already taken 2 points to the Super Sixes. Whoever wins today will take 2 points to the Super Sixes. That was hit over his head. A good catch at third man. Asif Sheikh, after playing those good innings, has come to an end. 38 that he scored off 20 balls. He tried an uppercut, but couldn't get so.
And what a great change of bowling. Great credit to Kendall Kadawaki Fleming. He's gone to his gun fast bowler. Kept pounding back of a length, now even shorter. And Sheikh couldn't resist taking it on. And with deep third out, it was a very risky stroke. This is a good catch. Down at wide, deep third. And a bit of a celebration too. Love to see that. Give some back to the Nepal fans. Maybe he was getting a bit down there, Ibrahim Takahashi. And he says, yes, that's number 2. And the Nepal fans are going to rue that. Sheikh is gone for 38. Might not be enough to turn this game on its head, but will certainly stem the run scoring flow. And Japan deserve a second wicket. Both of them have gone to Sagaya Slater, who's been really impressive.
Yes, 2.2 overs, 2 for 7 his figures. This is a good bowling change by the captain of Japan, bringing him from the far end. It was a short ball wide outside the off stump. Asif Sheikh tried to play an uppercut when the fielder was outside the circle in the deep third man region. It was a smart catch taken by Ibrahim. Second wicket down for Nepal. It's going to be Sundeep Zora at number 4.
Interesting call this. He's had a lot of flexibility in his order, or in his place in the order. Kushal Mala's often in at 4, but with the seamers on, maybe it's a good call to go to Jura, who drives just shy of backward point. Sagaya Slater's been the pick of the bowlers by quite a distance here.
Sundeep Zora has been sent, I think, because of he plays fast bowling very well. Just to keep Kushal Mal behind when probably the leg spinner or the left arm spinner comes.
Get off the mark with a quickly run single that might have been interesting with a direct hit, and Powdell is that quick that they'll get back for an overthrow. Good awareness from Nepal's captain calling Jura through. Can't blame the fielder here, he had to throw it, and might have been interesting if he had been able to affect that direct hit at the non-striker's end.
Quick run attempted there, the fielder missing the ball. Zura just stuttered there in the middle, that is why he had to sprint to the other end.
Would have been close, I reckon. May well have been out, in fact. Another short ball, that will probably be too short and given as a wide, rightly so. Umpires working well together as a pair. Shiju Sam and the main man Mukul from Bangladesh. He's actually standing at point, which you might say, well, why is he doing that? But that sun is getting so low out towards the mountains to our right as we look to your left of your screen. Look at the length of the shadows that it's casting. Here we go, back live. Just wanted another look at that run out replay, but I think it would have been too close to call. Jura gets a single. These two will just look to accumulate and rebuild here. Not going to take too many risks, you'd imagine, Paresh?
Yeah, they both are relatively new at the crease. Asif Sheikh, very well played. 38 comes to an end. He was the one who gave momentum to the innings after Kushal Bhurtel got out. Slater has been very good, very aggressive bowling those short balls, trying to attempt bouncers, bumpers.
But he's also just hit that good hard length really well. His paddle's so quick. Oh, brilliant running. Really quite remarkable how they've turned a single into two there. It probably should have been a dot ball, but you put the pressure back onto the fielders, you force them to try and take the single, and yeah, incredible. Really, really good awareness and game awareness from both Rohit Paudel and Sandeep Jura. Probably frustrating for Sagaya Slater despite picking up that second wicket for him, and with 8 bowled it's 69 for 2. Heading into the golden era, the magic era of the last era of daylight here. Change in bowling, Harahinze comes on now from the media centre end. Long off and deep cover in place, and then on the leg side, deep backward square is a long way behind square, covering that sweep shot. Deep mid wicket and long on out. 4 in the circle, 5 outs. Good brave bowling, slower through the air. Looks a talented young cricketer. I know he didn't see much of him with the bat there in that first innings. Difficult position to come in, someone so young, but good left arm bowler, good fielder, captain of the 19s. What a bright future he has.
Yes, he has a very bright future. I've seen him in the Under-19 Asia Cup. Very good fielding at extra cover. He's just looping the ball into the air, just telling the batsman to come and hit me.
Yeah, and it's brave for someone who's 17 to continue to toss it up and getting good reward. 3 dots from 4 balls. Been really impressed with Japan. First time I've ever commentated on them live myself. Enjoyed the game yesterday. As this one comes off maybe even the helmet. I think we might have a concussion check here. Yeah, they're going to go to the physio. Maybe bat involved as well. You can understand why they've appealed, but we'll have a slight break in play here as out comes Nepal's physio Lakendra Kumar to run through the mandatory concussion check. That will always take place no matter how strong or weak the blow is towards the helmet region. It's been a good innovation. You'll see here clearly up into the grill and helmet. I'm sure Rohit Paudel is fine. It was only coming down at 45 miles an hour, but good to go through the process.
Yes, I wonder, Lenny, what does the physio come and talk to you about after you got struck in the helmet? I've always wondered about that. Is he going to ask you some questions? What is your name, or where do you live? Just a short Just a break in play. Nepal 70 for 2 in the 9th over.
Yeah, maybe the surprise that we haven't seen the third spinning option yet, only the 5 bowlers used. Thought Abdul Samad might have had a turn now, maybe he'll come in next. Only have the one over left of Shamya Sagaya Slater. How the captain of Japan uses that over will be interesting. Does he go all in now and give him another one just before the drinks break? Or will he hold him back? Powdell obviously passes the concussion test and is fit to continue. Just 2 runs though from that 9th over. It's 71 for 2.
A very good spell so far for Slater. 3 overs, 13 runs given away and taken the 2 wickets to go for Nepal. He's bowled very well, aggressive, bowling those odd bouncers.
Well, fielders running everywhere, and it's not going to be Sagaya Slater. It would have been a very aggressive piece of captaincy. It would have been basically kind of saying it's all or nothing now. I need 2 wickets from you, my trump card, my best bowler today. Instead he's going to go to Sakarana Thomas. Doesn't quite have the same pace, just as that little angle in. Exceptional running between the wickets again. They'll get on the 2 comfortably. Might even think of a third. And not much risk taken by Nepal's batters here, and just reaccumulating nicely.
This is very good batting by the captain. Just played it with soft hands. The ball never went out from the 30-yard circle, and they took 2 runs. How fast they are in between the wickets.
Yeah, and it's really difficult for deep mid-wicket and deep square leg, because you can maybe get 3 or 4 yards in, but not much more than that, because if the short ball is pulled at you, particularly with the way that sun is, you don't want to be kind of caught right in the deep, and it's forced to change in field. Just that one shot. Deep third goes back, but deep backward point comes in, and up comes deep mid-wicket. So protection on the leg side. Powdell misses out here. For Japan, we spoke about that factor of 2 games in 2 days. As we get a look at the change in field, that mid-wicket fielder there, just right on the edge of the square, has come in to plug that gap. They've probably shown more than enough to think that they can win games in the Super 6.
Yes, they have, especially the batters, Fleming, the captain. And Rahman, the partnership that they got against Nepal today was brilliant.
They've been the 2 standouts, haven't they, with the bat. But their bowling attack is very effective. It looks like they're an incredibly tight-knit group. From speaking to Alan Carr, he's just talking about the importance of, them doing things in a Japanese manner, speaking Japanese in and around the group. We saw them take a bow to their fans that came last night and all line up. I thought that was lovely. Such brilliant stories in Japanese sport. The primary sports there, I hope, feel free to drop a message in and correct me if not, the primary sports there tend to be the likes of baseball, which is hugely popular. Cricket on the rise, rugby obviously hugely on the rise, that famous win over South Africa 10 years ago now, back in 2015. And I think they're a great story. They're a story we need in cricket. We've spoken about the importance of Brazil's women's programme, what USA have done for the men's side coming through and expanding the game there. We want it to be a global game. We want not just a 20-team World Cup. There's already been some inclinations or whispers in and around the ICC that they'd like to get that to 24 teams in years to come. As Jora goes down towards long off and straight at him. And Japan are pumped up again. They find a third. It's a good catch. Nicely taken by Benjamin Ito Davis. And Japan, you have to say, are deserving all of these breakthroughs. Nepal still hold the aces, but at the halfway stage, Japan fighting hard, and they've got 3 wickets to their name.
Yes, they have, and let's look at the shot again. The fielder was in the boundary line, a neat catch taken by the fielder there. With that, Zora has to depart for 5, and the umpires have called for the drinks break. We'll take a break here in the comment box. We'll be back soon.
So welcome back after the drinks break. We're into the final session of this 8th match of the 9 group games at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. East Asia Pacific qualifier. Japan have just picked up a 3rd wicket, and it will bring Kushal Malla to the crease. He comes in at number 5, the left-hander. Not too much pressure on Nepal because the required run rate is less than a run a ball. Just 55 more from here to win. But you would imagine that Japan will be delighted with the fight and the grit that they have shown. The fact they've picked up 3 wickets. As it's Takahashi to bowl for the first time. With his off breaks, he's the one who took the catch and gave a bit back to the Nepal fans. As Malla can't... Oh, he will get off the mark thanks to the misfield. Initially, Powdell had come down and needed to be sent back, but just a little fumble and a stumble from Benito Davis. He'd just given it the big celebrations himself with that catch at long off. Not the greatest shot choice from Sundeep Jura, particularly with it being the final ball before drinks. Got Andrew Leonard here alongside Paresh Lahani. Paresh will rejoin me in a few moments' time. Do have a few questions for him coming in, so use that hashtag T20 World Cup. Let us know where you're watching from, or get those questions in to me directly at Cricket Badge on either Twitter or Instagram. Really enjoy having your company, and we know how much this qualifier means to so many people as we sort out the final 3 spots in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup that will be held in India and Sri Lanka next year. We know 17 of the teams that will be there. Just 3 more remain, and all of those spots will come from this qualifier, the first ever combined one between the Asia and EAP regions. Oh, it's a trademark stroke of Rohit Powdell's. He loves that late cut. Malla's running really hard, thinking of a 3rd, but won't get there. end of the 11th. It's a 6-run opening over for Takahashi, 82 for 3. I've got Paresh Lahani back alongside me. Paresh, you were just out in and amongst the Nepal fans. Looks like they're in party mood, enjoying it. Lots of what have they got some Momo out there, or what's going on?
They are really enjoying themselves. There are kids around wearing the Nepal jersey. Lots of people chanting Nepal, Nepal.
You can't help but get swept up, can you, in the jubilation, the exuberance, the passion and the joy that the Nepal fans always show. It's very rare I see their carry on and can do anything but help break into a smile. Their love of their nation, their love of the team, their love of cricket is just super inspiring. As Suzuki Macomb comes into the attack, using lots of bowling options, aren't they, Japan? Kind of shading and echoing what Nepal did in that first innings. If Nepal get home here, they've been made to work for this victory.
Yes, they have been, starting from the first innings, the way the captain Fleming and Rahman batted. Nepal was pushed to the back foot. Credit goes to Sompal Kami, Gulshan Jha, and the latter part of the innings, Sandeep Lamichhane, who took 2 wickets.
For me, it was Gulshan Jha that made the difference, though, wasn't it? The impact he had, particularly given his first over went for 9 runs, to come back. Those remaining 3 that he bowled on the bounce probably have changed the course of this contest.
Yes, it sure did. He got rid of the dangered man, the captain of Japan, Fleming. Nepal, having ranked higher than Japan, they were pushed to back foot.
Yeah, one of the challenges then in the defence of this chase for Japan, their most prolific wicket taker, Ravichandran, just bowled a terrible first over, and any pressure that was built up with the dismissal of Bertel was just completely taken out of the game, because he bowled 2 long hops to start with. Both of those were dispatched for 6. There was another boundary too from Asif Sheikh in the over, and that went for 17, and Kendall Fleming hasn't wanted to turn back to him since. Edged away, a little bit of fortune for Rohit Powdell, but he will get 4. Nice delivery. Deep third is very wide, and the Nepal fans are flying their flags and cheering on merrily yet again.
That had a bit of shape on it, getting that outside edge, running very fine towards the third man region. And like you said, Lenny, the third man fielder was a bit wide. That is why he couldn't stop it. Just 43 more required of 50 deliveries. Rohit Powdell on 17. He would like to stay unbeaten.
How much would you read into those prior T20 World Cup experiences in terms of the qualifiers that Nepal have had? Obviously heartbreak here against the UAE back in what was that, 2021, wasn't it, for the T20 World Cup 2022?
Yeah, it has been. They've played 2 T20 World Cups, so one in 2014 and one in 2024.
Oh, chip back at the bowler, who thinks he's held on, and Kushal Mala's happy to walk. An exceptional catch. Suzuki Macomb is brought into the attack, and the mustachioed all-rounder has done so well to dive forward, take it probably only inches off the turf. Nobody would have had a better view than Kushal Mala, and he's happy just to walk off immediately. What a catch this is.
Incredible. Diving in front in your follow-through, being a medium pacer, that's an incredible catch.
Second low score for Mala in 2 games. And again, good awareness of the matchups from Japan's end, getting the fast bowler on rather than the spinner to Mala. He's got to go for 4. Nepal just having a few wobbles in this chase. They've lost their 4th. It's 90 for 4. You were speaking earlier, Paresh, about how the sides from the East Asia Pacific region just don't get to play against sides from outside their region altogether too often. Papua New Guinea got it a lot in the last cycle when they were part of Cricket World Cup League 2. But with Japan not even in the Challenge League in terms of 50 over cricket, it means that all of their cricket from the T20 perspective is generally restricted to within their region. They came through the sub-regional qualifier B last September, October. That was in South Korea, hosted between four, as it now will be Ravichandran, the leading wicket taker for Japan in their history, back into the attack. He's got 48 altogether. If he could get one or two now, maybe we'll just have a twist in this contest, as Dipender Singh Airi is the new man to the crease.
This is very clever captaincy, because the left-hander was there, Kushal Malla was there. He didn't bring Ravichandran into the attack. When Malla got out, immediately he's getting his leg spinner into the attack. Big appeal, gone!
Japan have a fifth, and they have life. We have to love the associate pathway events, because they always have twists and turns. Nepal will have been thinking they should have cruised this chase of 130, but 2 wickets in 3 balls has the game turned on its head. And it's those little strike breaks, the little skidding on leg breaks from Ravichandran that have given him a 49th T20 international wicket. Might have been the googly, it was, out of the back of the hand. Powdell's not picked it, and for me, more than a fair decision. Gonna go on and hit middle and leg stump. Ravichandran's pumped up. So too are Japan.
Yes, Rohit Patel has to depart. Very good delivery, very good captaincy. He has to depart for 18 of just 19 deliveries. Nepal in some sort of wobble, like you said, Lenny. 90 for 5.
Well, Gulshan Jha comes to the crease, exceptional with the ball, completely changed the game in the first innings. Can he just find a way to provide a bit of stability alongside Dipender Singh Airi to make sure Nepal can ice this chase? The required run rate continues to pose no real threat, 5.5 and over. The fact they're 5 wickets down, though, Paresh, definitely does.
There's still an Iceman at the crease, Dipender Singh Airi. Another Iceman has to depart, the captain of Nepal, Rohit Patel.
Going to come round the wicket now. Right on the money, but Gulshan Jha good enough to get off the mark. He's a confident young cricketer, and he's already been through a lot in such a short career, Paresh.
Gulshan Jha, just 19 years of age. The way he batted in the first game against Kuwait, 20 of 5, that got the momentum into the innings break for Nepal. That is why the bowlers came out and bowled very well to take wickets, to get a victory out of it.
Nepal's fans all of a sudden becalmed in a position where they're starting to feel pressure, as are the team. There's a beautiful hue to the ground now. You might have noticed a difference in the colour as you look on at home. The floodlights have just come on for the first time. And oh, this looks very close. Pleading with Muckle. And the umpire has a long think and says no. I'm not sure necessarily what this is missing, unless Airi has got a bit of bat on it. Look like it's just skidding on again. Oh, is it going down, or is that hitting leg stump?
Excellent bowling by Ravichandran. He's taken a wicket already off the captain of Nepal.
I think it was probably another googly, wasn't it? He just sort of rolls it out a little bit Rashid Khan-esque. Not the full back of the hand googly, just coming out the side. What an over. What an impact. We've got a changed game all of a sudden in the course of 7 deliveries. Bit of a strut and a swagger from Ravichandran too. He felt he could have had that decision go his way. Very close call. It's gone the way of Dipender Singh Airi as the floodlights take full effect and the most beautiful sunset is incoming. They're always good here in Muscat, Paresh.
Yes, it's been the fourth day of my arrival here in Muscat. I've loved every bit of it. The cricket here, the drama. Nepal into wobble situation here, 5 wicket down just for 91. They still need 5.86 runs per over.
Yeah, and a great fight back. The innings in some ways mirroring themselves. Nepal had a very good start, looked like they were cantering home, but it's the wickets that they've lost, particularly to this man, Segoya Slater. I think Kendall Kadawaki Fleming is captained outstandingly well, and he's going to call on that a trump fast bowler now. Bowls a good sharp bouncer. Japan have really impressed me today, Paresh, whatever the result. Nepal are being made to work incredibly hard for this victory.
Yet again bowling that bumper, very accurate bumper. Gulsaja had to take evasive action, just ducking the ball. Yeah, Japan has not only impressed us, they've impressed the entire world.
Absolutely. Another great story from associate cricket this year. Worked into the leg side for a single. Irie has the pace to get back for the second, but I think rightly not looking to go for it. The fast bowler himself doing the fielding. You think of Italy's story this summer, qualifying for their first T20 World Cup. Imagine we add a Japan or a Samoa to that list. Who would have thought that 10 or 15 years ago, Paresh?
No one would have ever thought that. It's just because the Japanese, they've played very well. Not only today, but yesterday beating Kuwait.
Pulled around the corner, but deep fine leg is out there. Yeah, I think so much of the growth and the development over the last decade has been due to one decision. Back in 2018, some statisticians, some anoraks didn't like it, but back in 2018, the ICC granted T20I status to every single one of its, at that stage 104 members, now 108 members, all are entitled to play T20Is. Ja hooks this away, and probably the biggest cheer of the day. He's a real fan favourite, this man. He stuck it onto the road. The angle helped him with that hook shot. It's an almighty maximum.
That is more than 100 meters. A good bumper again, well picked up by Gulsen Shah. Down to deep square leg, behind square, into the road.
Yeah, remarkable shot, and there's a bit of niggle kicking in. I don't think Ravichandran, who you can see heavily involved in it there, was happy with that LBW decision from umpire Muckle in the previous over. But I'm not sure why this ball has sparked the action and the drama. Outstanding hook shot, a nice swivel hook, bit of Caribbean flair there from Gulshan Jah, soars many a mile. And then there was a coming together of a number of Japanese fielders who came in to, well, have a word or two with both Jah and Irie, who didn't seem to engage. So the umpires rightly saying to Japan, get back to your positions. Won't get the single this time. This game has got a bit of spice of it in it all of a sudden.
And the Nepali fans, they're loving it. They're just chanting around. We are loving it, the spice.
Always good to have a bit of spice in any contest, as long as it doesn't go past the line. And in fairness, both of these sides play with a great spirit of cricket. So important that they do. Staying around the wicket, final ball of Slater's spell. He's driven, but he's bowled really well. But the 100 comes up as his spell ends, much to the cheers of the Nepal fans, who are loving every second of it. It's 100 for 5. They need just 32 more to win, as we look at the Manhattan here.
Yes. Wickets falling for Nepal. In 7 balls, 2 wickets down, Rohit Pordel and Kushal Malla in quick succession. Then came in Gulshan Jah, who hit a massive 6 into the road.
Big over this one. Ravichandran's first went for 16, his second had the wickets. And all of a sudden he's found his rhythm, found his loop, and they're interesting little leg breaks, aren't they? It's kind of a bit of everything in there. Ball quite flat through the air. He's a good googly. It's not an extravagant drop of the front shoulder and full show of the backhand googly. It's sort of a little one that just rolls out the side of the hand, and it makes it difficult to pick. Already accounted for Powdell, could have accounted for Dipendra Singh Airi too.
Yeah, after the first over that he was a bit tentative, a bit nervous to bowl to Asif Sheikh. He's found his rhythm. This was a full toss, easily driven away by Gulshan Jah.
Yeah, I would suspect that this is the critical over. If Ravichandran can get one, or in a dream world 2 more, Japan might start to believe. But Airi picks the googly this time. The key thing is just not to lose a wicket here for Nepal. Required run rate isn't posing pressure. It's the fact they've lost those 5 wickets.
Yes, the current rate is over 7 runs per over. The required is under 6. It's very controllable. The only thing that Nepal is worried about is those 5 wickets.
Driven, square driven. Jah wants the second. Airi sends him back. I think that was a really good call, because obviously Airi would have got there at the non-striker's end, but he's looked after his partner there, and that's good communication to make sure it's just a single.
Airi is a very smart campaigner. He knows what is going along in the centre. He identifies the fielders. Jiven again straight down the ground for a single.
Nepal doing enough in this over just to quell the threat of that Japan fight back. You do think back to that first innings though, and you just wonder if Japan had got the 160 they should have. How different may this game have been. 5 singles will come from the 15th, and Nepal just plotting a course home here. They're 105 for 5.
There's the worm. Nepal, they were on top till the 11th over, then the worm slightly coming down. Now it's head to head with the Japanese worm. There's still talk about the keeper going to the umpire and having a say. We don't know what is that all about.
Going to be Suzuki McComb, I think, to bowl the 16th. Been really impressed with Kendall Karawaki Fleming's captaincies. He just rotated the troops around nicely and hasn't panicked at any point. Didn't panic with the bats. Played so well for that 50, and he hasn't panicked in terms of his leadership either. Even when the leg spinner bowled such a poor first over, he treated him very maturely and then waited for him to come back. Driven, maybe just out of the reach of the cover fielder. Hands on head in the field. They should get 3 here if Jah can get back. No, just the 2. Was this a catching opportunity? Very tall figure there at extra cover. Did it burst through his hands?
He tried his best to get to the ball. I think it went over his hands. A very good attempt. A tall guy, and look at the fielding here in the boundary line. Excellent work. Saved 2 runs for his team. Inside edge, quick single taken. Dipendra Singh is very quick in between the wickets.
Yeah, and I think his maturity here, I know he's only got 3 of the runs in this partnership, but he just showing all his experience and making sure that Nepal don't panic. If they'd lost 6 or 7 in a matter of moments there, they would have been into panic mode. But instead, because they don't have too much pressure in terms of the required run rate. Still just 24 more needed. And they've got 28 balls to do it. You should do that always as long as you keep your wickets in hand. So Irie's experience to the fore here. Just a slight change in the field. Deep mid wicket will go out. It was Sagaya Slater who had that half chance burst through his hands from Gulshan Jha. Japan continuing to fight and scrap away. Tickled round the corner. Irie will get his first boundary. Good batting.
Yeah, he waited for the ball. It was down the leg side, just clipped off his pads. Very fine, down to the fine leg region for 4. A much welcome boundary for Nepal. It was way outside the leg stump. Easy pickings for Irie with his caliber.
Yeah, just the wrong line. Completely lost his line. In fact, Nepal's fans are, well, almost like a bottle of champagne waiting for the top to pop off it and blitz into celebrations. Gorgeous sunset across to our right, just peeking towards the mountains now. As a little slower ball, a cutter is worked into the leg side. Irie will always get home with his speed. Good running between the wickets from him. It's been a sort of panic-saving 6th wicket partnership, this one.
It has been, and Irie was looking for a second in that particular occasion. So quick between the wickets, so quick in the field while fielding off his own bowling as well. Under 5 required now for Nepal. With 5 wickets in hand, it sure is Nepal's game if they don't throw it away from here.
Yeah, they have it completely under control. Just need to keep those wickets in hand. They should get there. Nicely driven by Jha. He's played maturely himself, hasn't he, for someone who's so tender in his years. To highlight that big 6, but yeah, they've just done everything very, very professionally, Nepal.
It all started off with the opening partnership, Kushal Bhurtel and Asif Sheikh. After Bhurtel got out, Asif took the stand. 2 huge 6s of Ravichandran. Ravichandran coming back. Very good captaincy then. The captain stopped him. When Kushal Malla got out, then brought in Ravichandran.
Yeah, fully agree. He's rotated his bowlers nicely. Little leg cutter again. I think Irie's going to fancy 2 here. And, well, he does it at a canter, doesn't he? He's ended up 3 or 4 yards past the keeper. Good over. A really good one for Nepal. With very little risk taken. 11 runs have come from it. It's 116 for 5. Gorgeous. The sunset just peeking towards the very tip of those mountains across to our, it's the north side of the ground there. The sort of northwest end of the ground. Beautiful area. Al Emirat that surrounds this Oman Cricket Academy. Expansion in place in the years to come here. The 2 ovals will turn into 5. It's been a big driving force in their growth, their success. As Ravichandran will bowl his 4th and final. One last opportunity for the leading wicket taker to impact Japan's chances. He's 1 shy of a landmark as well. There's 49 wickets to his name in T20I cricket.
A dot ball to start the over, the 17th. Levy, Ravichandran looks like you from the top.
Thanks, Paresh. Just a reminder. I need it as this one's helped around the corner. Just 1 bounce for 4. Bold is beautiful, mate. We know that. And we're bringing it back bit by bit. Yeah, Nepal have had a shock to the system here. They've had a few wobbles, but ultimately they should prevail here. Just 14 needed now. First ball was a helped round the corner. It is Dipender Singh Irie again, just innovating. He'll get a couple. That first ball was a dot, yeah, not a single. Got that corrected, thanks to the team for that. Ravichandran shown why he does take wickets at all the levels he's played at.
No wonder he's the highest wicket taker for Japan in the T20Is. Again, flattered through the air, a skidder. Very well read by Irie. outside the line of off stump. He doesn't have to do that. He can just play this over. Plenty of balls to go to get those runs.
Good diving stop at extra cover. But Irie will keep the strike. 17 ball, 120 for 5. Paresh for Nepal, the challenge is ahead now. 4 more Super 6 games. We know they will have to play UAE and Qatar, definitely. They may have to play, it'll depend upon this evening's result, they may have to play the hosts Oman, you'd imagine, who would be favourites to go through, and then either Samoa or Papua New Guinea. Do you think they have enough to be confident of picking up 2 or 3 more wins? 4 wins will guarantee you through, I gather, but 3 will give you a good chance of the good net run rate as well.
It'll be very interesting to play against UAE, top 2 ranked side in this tournament. UAE at the top. There's always a rivalry between Nepal and UAE. We have seen that UAE might want to, return the favour what Nepal did in the earlier qualifier.
Going to be Sakarano to have a ball. Rio Sakarano Thomas in for his 3rd. He's picked up the 1 wicket. Yeah, just trying to work out exactly when that game will be. I think it's going to be Sunday afternoon. If Nepal win this game, as Irie powers that one out towards a cover sweeper, that would be a case then of Group A first versus Group B first. Afternoon game at this main ground. That could be a box office clash, and that's our first day back after the rest day tomorrow.
Yes, it will be a box office. Like I said, there's a rivalry between UAE and Nepal.
The El Clasico, the Associate El Clasico is what they call it.
It was not only now. It's not only now. Always. Whenever we played, 25 years ago.
To your days as well. Well, speaking of 25 years back, this is the first international between these two sides in 25 years. Japan have really had their moments. They've been very impressive. But I think Nepal are going to have enough to get home. Gulshan Jah, the standout for you today, he's had a big impact on the game.
Yes, he is. The way he bowled the second over, getting rid of the captain Fleming, who was going guns blazing. Just to break that partnership.
In fairness to Japan, they continue to fight, don't they? There's been a real period of prominence in this match for them. We both felt at the 12 over marker in that first innings that the game was slipping away from Nepal.
Yeah, credit goes to Gulshan Jah. He hasn't bowled yet. He didn't bowl in the West Indies series. He didn't bowl in the warm-up matches. He didn't bowl against Kuwait. Came in and bowled here, took 2 wickets. Full toss, hit it down the ground. 6.
Yeah, much more like it from Gulshan Jah. Couple of dots and then he just smashes that one to the heavens. He's such a special cricketer, isn't he? He has this incredible ability to impact matches, whatever he does. You think of the catches against the West Indies, the wickets today, and now a couple of maximums. Get Nepal right to the brink. Wasn't a great delivery, but it's incredible to think he's just 19. His ceiling as a cricketer, Paresh, could be so high.
Only 19, and look at his character. It's like 29 years of age.
Yeah, remarkable. Really, really, truly remarkable. Going to try and finish it. The scores are level. Nepal are on the brink, and they probably deserve this victory. It's given their 12th player the reward for coming here in such good numbers, and you can't help but argue that Nepal will win this group now, and they'll win it in some style.
Yes, this was a thick outside edge over the short third fielder for a boundary. And just a run needed to complete the victory and to carry 2 points to the Super Sixes for Nepal. I give credit to Japan the way they fought.
Well, the field has come in to try and drag it to the 19th. But that'll be that, and Gulshan Jah will fittingly hit the winning runs Nepal, they win by 5 wickets and they take 2 points in the Super 6, much to the delight of their fans.
Yes, at the last it was a comprehensive victory for Nepal. Credit goes to Gulshan Jha and Dipen Singh Aire, the way they batted, the way they were calm in the middle after losing 2 early wickets of Rohit Paudel and Kushal Malla. Nepali fans very delighted, exuberant, with the unique flag of Nepal, with the Nepal t-shirts. In the media box, they are out here in numbers. Each and every fan chanting Nepal, Nepal. You can see there on your screen, Nepal winning the game by 5 wickets and going to the Super Sixes as group winners of Group B. Now they gonna face UAE on Sunday 12th of October in the first clash of the Super Sixes in the afternoon, 2:30 p.m. local time. Look at the batting card. Kushal Bhutel, run ball 21. Asif Sheikh with 2 big sixes, 38-21. Rohit Paudel 18 and Dipendra 14, and Gulshan Jha again 28 unbeaten. Bowling card of Japan, only Shoma Sugia Slater taking 2 wickets, whereas Ravichandran 1 and Suzuki Makom 1 apiece. Now we're going to look at some highlights of the second innings when Nepal batting. It all started with Kushal Bhutel. It was a very short but beaten short extra and mid off the ball rolling towards the boundary. Some of good hits by Kushal Bhutel before he got out for 21. Equally good shots played by Asif Sheikh straight down the ground. It was the best of the lot. And the pull shot where Kushal Bhutel got out, the ball hurried on to him. A very wonderful catch by the captain of Japan,